Coming up in today's podcast episode.
Am I on the right path? The question that I had in my mind was, can we miss our purpose? All these years, I was looking for how to best fulfill it. Then this opportunity was presented to me, which felt like the whole universe had conspired to make that happen. Yet it didn't feel in alignment, and I felt like such a big failure to not being able to overcome that. There are multiple ways, multiple realities, timelines possible, potent in this very moment. It means that there is not just one way of how to do things. Hello, beautiful human. Welcome to another episode of the Returning Home podcast, hosted by yours truly, Lin Lim. And in today's episode, we're going to be diving deep into a topic that I've found so intriguing. Not only intriguing, but something that I was desperate to figure out because I didn't know what to do with my life. And I didn't know what to do with my purpose. I found my purpose. Then I didn't know how to fulfill it, and I had so much anxiety and fear around not being able to fulfill it, having to come back here to planet Earth in order to do it all over again, which I for sure didn't want to do that. And within that journey, I know that was a mouthful, but within that journey, I've had so many findings that I'm about to share with you today. We're going to dive into destiny. We're going to dive into free will. We're going to dive into fulfilling our purpose. So if that's something that sounds intriguing to you, then stay around. So as I'm recording this, there's this leaf behind my head. I don't know if you're watching with or without video, but there's this leaf without my head that's poking me a little bit. Nature is making contact with me. I know, I'm a weirdo, and that's probably why you're watching this episode, because you're one of those people who is a little bit odd, who is a little bit different from people in general. And if you can resonate with that, then you are in the right place at the right time, because we're going to dive deep into why that is for you and what your purpose is and how can we fulfill that. How can we know whether we're on the right path? How can we know whether we're doing the right things in life? And so with that being said, I want to share a little bit about my journey with this so that I can give these understandings, these things that I've experienced, a little bit more context and meaning so that you understand better these findings that I found. So maybe if you're in a journey of fulfilling your purpose, you're wondering the same thing. Am I on the right path? Now, this is something that I've been wondering so much. Not so much lately, but in the last probably around 2 years, I have been going through a lot of trial and error. I was trying a lot of different things. I woke up to my purpose, and which basically was helping people to rise to their fullest potential and realizing freedom in all different ways, mind, body, spirit, within my own life and in the lives of others. And in that sense, I was kind of researching, living through the experience of how can I fulfill that purpose? How can I help people to rise to their fullest potential? How can I help people to be fully free within themselves, within their mind, within their spirit, within their physical reality? And that's been my mission for around 5 years now. And in these 5 years, I have moved through so many different crazy experiences. I started an online business. I started working with a company that was very deep into NFTs. I started to learn about Reiki, and I started to develop myself in all ways I could possibly think about that I was interested in. I started this YouTube channel, which I'm still very much doing and about. And within that journey, I had been on a treadmill to develop myself as quickly as possible. And there are multiple things that I found. So when I was developing myself, there were all these different ways that I was going through. Like I said, I was going through trial and error. I was basically trying to find out how I could manifest that purpose into this reality. Because in another episode, I talked about how finding your purpose is one thing, but then how to freaking F to manifest it into this physical reality, that's a whole different art. And it's not so clear cut as one might think. It's not like as if when you find your purpose, you suddenly know how to fulfill that. And that's a journey in and of itself. So I was dabbling with what am I here to do, and am I doing the right thing? And through doing that, I had done a reading with the Akashic Records, and I found a lot of clarity on that. And I found a way to actually start fulfilling my purpose, and I found direction. And I started following that direction. And when going into this direction, I actually was presented an opportunity that kind of went against all the things that I naturally felt in alignment with. And so it kind of turned my life upside down, because I was like, the universe, it felt as if the universe was making me choose between my purpose and the things I really love. And it made me so confused, because I felt like, and this is how I found my purpose initially, doing what we love most is usually most in alignment with who we are in our true core and our essence. And so this opportunity that felt so shiny, sparkly, that felt so like the universe conspired me into fulfilling this certain opportunity that was presented to me. Yet it made me filled with anxiety, confusion, and tons and tons of sleepless nights. And for a long time, because in the end I didn't take the opportunity because it didn't fully feel in alignment, still there was this part of me that was so anxious that I missed my destiny in life, that I missed my purpose, that I was now doomed to fail, to come back to this planet, to start all over again, to do what I was actually meant to do here. And this anxiety was so deep. I felt it throughout my throat, throughout my neck, the back of my neck, and through everywhere. And it took me probably around half a year to actually move through that anxiety and to start seeing this in a new way, in a different light. And the question that I had in my mind was, can we miss our purpose? All these years, I was looking for how to best fulfill it. Then this opportunity was presented to me, which felt like the whole universe had conspired to make that happen, yet it didn't feel in alignment. And I felt like such a big failure to not being able to overcome that. And I felt like all these years of preparation kind of went lost. I wasn't able to fulfill my purpose anymore. And through doing a lot of inner work, through working with a coach, I started to see that a lot of concepts that my mind was filled around, because this is what I often found, is that we have the universe guiding us, our higher self guiding us onto the path that we're supposed to fulfill here. And then we have, of course, our human free will that allows us to go on to adventures in life, to basically create this adventurous experience on planet Earth, so that we have the power ultimately to decide what paths we take and what paths we don't take. Now, my first initial belief around this was that we can use our free will, but it will not always be the best decision that we can take. Because often our higher self, the universe, knows a better path for us, and that's why it's aligning us with all these opportunities. Now, this is what I've learned. With all this anxiety, to feel like I was doomed to fail my purpose, I realized that the universe didn't give up on me. Because what I believe was that if you don't take action towards a certain thing, then that thing will go to someone else, which I think is true. That will happen. But at the same time, and this is what I didn't know back then, what I didn't know was that there are multiple ways for us to fulfill our purpose. So what does it mean when you don't take one opportunity or when you don't make one decision? It doesn't mean that you will have to fail now. There's not one path that you should be on in order to feel like you're on the right path. There are multiple paths that we can walk in order to fulfill our purpose. And now, how did I find that? Is because within these challenging times, within these deep, dark moments that I went through, I felt like the universe was closer than ever. I felt angel numbers everywhere. I felt my angels around. I felt my guides around. I heard messages. I had dreams. It was as if the deeper I was going, the more the universe was sending me love, support, and guidance, making me feel that I wasn't alone. And they've guided me onto another path that presented itself with different opportunities that allow me to grow, to heal, and to go deeper within myself and what I'm here to do. So this is what my findings are. I know that there's not one path that you're supposed to walk. I believe there are multiple ways for you to fulfill your purpose. You can choose the destiny that you want to fulfill. The meaning that, this is what I believe to be true, the meaning that the thing that you're supposed to manifest here can happen in a multitude of ways depending on what path you decide to walk, what path you decide to manifest, to follow. And if you tune into your heart and you're doing the best that you can to take every step according to your intuition and your heart, then 100% sure you're going to manifest, fulfill your purpose. No matter if you miss an opportunity, no matter if you F up. The universe is here to support you to do what you came here to do. Our reality is not so linear. Our reality is very quantum. What does that mean? That there are multiple ways, multiple realities, timelines, possible, potent in this very moment. It means that there is not just one way of how to do things. It means that there's not just one truth in every single moment. We can shift into these different timelines. We can shift into these different realities. And we can choose what resonates most with us. And in that, you will be fulfilling your purpose the way that's most in alignment with you now. And the universe will always guide, help, and support you on that path because it wants you to succeed. The universe is endlessly, infinitely conspiring in your favor. Let me know in the comments if this episode resonated with you. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from, because I'd love to get to know you. If you have liked this episode, please like this episode, click that like button, and share this video with anyone who you think could benefit from this message right now. If you're directly tuning in from Apple Podcast or Spotify, make sure to give this podcast a 5-star review if you are enjoying it, so that this message will be spread to more people who need to hear it right now. Check out my Lightworker merchandise if you want to spread a message of love, light, positivity, and awakening with the world. And you also support my channel further on putting out content for free every single week. Thank you all so much for tuning in here. I'm sending you so much love in your journey, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye for now.